capital of the world, it's the Joe Cortez Show.
Hello, I'm Joe Cortez here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with my co-host, beautiful Shelly Stevens.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Good, I hope.
Anyway, Shelly, we're here today talking about good things in life, you know?
Yes.
One thing about me, Shelly, and you, especially me, I always love to help people out there. I'm so positive about everything.
Yes, you
I
are.
don't care what it is. You got people that dislike me for whatever reason. That's okay. You know what? I accept it because, you know, that's part of life.
Yeah.
Some people like you, they hate you, whatever, you know? That's okay.
That's okay.
But we're here to help people out.
That's right.
Our show is about being positive, helping people, not knocking anybody, putting anybody down. We're here to say we're not the best, but we're hard to beat. That's all I can say.
And that makes sense, and I think that's why God brought us into each other's lives, for us to meet just for that purpose.
But, you know, sometimes I wonder why God takes away people when they're so young. You know, you hear that? You hear people, they pass away so young one night. And why that person? I got such a good person. You hear people in their 20s. You know, George Foreman, former heavyweight champion of the world, I refereed 4 of his fights. And he's a guy, he retired after he lost to Muhammad Ali, the Rumble in the Jungle. And he lost to Muhammad Ali. And then George Foreman packed it in. He said, and I said, I've had it in boxing. Then 10 years later, he comes back, starts fighting again. And then I did him against Jerry Cooney. I did him against Derek Coetzee, and I said, you know, he's fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world again 10 years later, you know, and he was 45 years of age. But, you know, and he won the heavyweight championship, knocking out Michael Moore. I counted Michael Moore out. But that's not what I'm talking about the kindness that George Foreman had. And, you know, Mike Tyson is another individual that people think he was tough, he would beat everybody. But Mike is one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet in your life. Sweetheart. Caring, loving. He loves to be around kids. He loves to help kids out. I know he was helping out a little young girl the other day. We were at a boxing event, and Mike and I were sitting together, and we were talking. And the little young girl, his David Farid Bonds said, Joe, you know, he's helping that little girl, but she had brain cancer.
Oh.
I said, really? I said, really? So I called the little girl over. She said, what's your name? And I forgot her name, but anyway, she told me that she was going through some difficulties. I said, why? You're there for the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Yeah.
And she was there, her wish was to see Mike be with Mike Tyson.
Aww.
And she got that wish. And her father was there. And you know, there's so many black people out there, a lot of fighters, they like to use their hand. We're in the hurt business, but you know what? Some of the nicest people you meet in your life are the kindest people in boxing. And George Foreman was one of them.
Yeah.
I know what they used to always ask me about my daughter Cindy. My daughter Cindy, who was in a car accident. She ended up quadriplegic. And I remember he would always say, Joe, how's your daughter Cindy doing, you know? And one day he paid a respect to my daughter and for myself. He flew out when we were in California. She was at a rehab location, and he flew all the way out there to spend the whole day with us, with Cindy. He had no business to be out there, but he said, I want to see Cindy. That kind of heart that George Foreman has.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, sometimes, but he was only 76 years of age, and God took him.
Yeah.
But I guess God needed him up there.
Exactly. That's what I always say. God needed another angel.
He did another angel. Yeah, you're right. So what do you think about the people today? I mean, there's a lot of individuals out there. They got holidays, a lot of holidays that are coming up.
Yeah, you know, like I always say, it starts with the parents. You know, the parents have to really teach their children about love. As soon as they're able to talk and walk, you know, you just show them love. You know, there was something that I read that I would like to say. It says the way you help heal the world is by first starting with your own family. Every day is a happy day. Just think about it. You say Happy Valentine's Day. You say Happy Mother's Day. You say Happy Father's Day, Happy Birthday, Happy Anniversary, et cetera, et cetera. So every day is a great day. So let your families know how much you love them, you know. Doesn't cost anything. You just pick them up, you hug them, you kiss them, you tell them how much you love them every single day, you know. It's like there's another thing that says the unexpected surprises in life are like icing on a cake. Sometimes reaching out and taking someone's hand can be the beginning of a journey.
That's true. That's true. At the beginning of a journey, sometimes we all start doing things in life, and it's a long journey. Sometimes the good journey, it could be a bad journey too, but you can always take the bad journey and turn it into positive. I remember when I caught COVID in 2020, I was hospitalized for 5 months with COVID, and it was really no visitors because I was in quarantine and no visitors. But it was a bad journey. But I made that bad journey turn into a good journey. Because when I talked to my daughter, Cindy, like I mentioned before, she's quadriplegic, I would call her, we'd be on FaceTime on the phone, and I would talk to her. She said, Daddy, how you doing today? You doing better, right? I said, honey, talking to you, I feel better every day. Just talking to my daughter, she was so positive about everything.
Yeah.
To this day, 29 years, she's been a quadriplegic, and I never heard nothing negative about her. Everything's always been, he was in the medical field.
Yeah.
She was an x-ray technician back in Patterson, New Jersey, back in the day, and she came out to visit us when she had that accident. But anyway, she's very positive, very kind, loving, and that's the way we got to be with people. It's always think about taking all that negative stuff and turn it into positive.
Yeah.
We want you guys out there to be positive about what you do in life. Not everything's going to be roses and shiny sun and sunny days. Sometimes we got rough days.
Yep.
We got a lot of rain. Sometimes different parts of the road.
Exactly.
It can be tough. But you know what? Sometimes somebody with all that rain, they need a life vest. You throw my life vest. I want to help you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you help them with the life vest, and that life vest can turn somebody's life around. You can save them and keep them on the right track.
That's right.
But that's what we do. Try to do. Send a life vest to people out there. I remember Mike Tyson called me up when I was in the hospital with COVID. He was with Jim Gray, and they both called me up. And Mike Tyson was going to box Roy Jones Jr. in exhibition. I told him, Mike, do me a favor, please. I know, and you still got the power with either hand. You tell me the right hand will get you, the left one will. You got the power with both hands. I don't want you to hurt Roy Jones Jr. He's a nice guy. He said, Joe, I'm not going to hurt him. I said, please don't hurt him, because you know what? What you're doing now as a boxer with exhibition, if you hurt him seriously, they're not going to let you do this again. He said, no, you're right, Joe. Then 2 days after the fight, you called me up again. I said, Joe, how do you like the way I fought? Because I was watching on TV.
Yeah.
I saw the highlight that he won. And I think they call it a draw.
No.
Yeah, they call it a draw. This way it was like an exhibition.
Yeah.
And I said, Mike, that's what I like. Nobody got hurt. I like that very much. This way, we don't want to hurt nobody.
Right.
Boxing, you don't play boxing.
Right.
You can play baseball, you can play football, you can play basketball, you can play tennis, but you don't play boxing. Boxing, you're in the hurt business.
Yeah.
And your husband, Wesley, he knows he loves boxing so much, he knows we're in the hurt business. And I did it so many years myself, and I just say today, we have to keep on trying to be positive and help people out there, because a lot of people need some help, some guidance, get them on the right track. There's a lot of individuals out there that, honestly, I think they're good people, but sometimes they go the wrong way for whatever reason. And I said to myself, you know what? Maybe you need some help. Call somebody to guide you in the right direction. So call somebody, a friend, a family, or go for professional help. Sometimes individuals out there need the professional help. They got to go see a psychiatrist, to see somebody who can guide them on it. Sometimes they had upbringing, the way they lived their lives in the last 10, 15 years, 20 years. Maybe they didn't live a good life. And they come and they still think they could be that way back again. You give yourself a chance. Thank God for being the person you are today. And you came back, you made it back, but be nice to people. Don't be evil or arrogant to people. Be nice. God gave you the opportunity to be out here again with friends and loved ones. So you say to yourself, you know what? Joe is right. I gotta stop being nasty with people. I gotta start being more positive and be caring. If you care for people out there, show them you care. Start with your family. Start with your wife, your children, your family. Start with, like we said before, you gotta start with your family.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons why we love performing at Lola's 5 nights a week, because we get so many people that feel the love as soon as they walk in the door. There's not a lot of places like that where I actually come in the room, when I'm walking into work, I'll come in, and first person I see is Laurie, the hostess, and we always hug and kiss as soon as I walk through the door. And then I look over and I see who's there. Of course, people that we know are regulars. our owners, TJ and Carlos, I'll walk over to the bar. I give everybody at the bar a hug before I go to my place on the stage. I'm like always hugging and talking to people. And people always say that, you know, this is why we love coming to Lola's, is that we really feel the love from everybody here, you know? And it's like another thing I like to read. This says, we should be kind, first of all, to everyone. Kindness in the community, kindness on the go, kindness with strangers, kindness in the workplace, kindness just because. When kindness is shared, it grows.
That's right.
We often find ways justifying the choices we make, but you know your heart. Remain loyal to your family and to your friends. I have been staying put with loyalty, which is where I need to be. And it is so true. Yeah, that's why.
Well, you know, you talk about kindness. Kindness is like a boomerang. You
throw it, it comes back.
Kindness, you got to be kind with yourself, kindness behind the scene, kindness in the home, kindness in a relationship.
Yep.
Okay, kindness in common courtesy.
Yep.
And kindness in nature, with nature, and kindness in school.
Yeah.
You know, and when we do it every day, like go to school, we're learning something. You got to be kind with people.
Yeah.
You know, being a kind individual out there make you feel good about yourself, and you make the individual out there feel good about themselves as well. So if you're watching it and you know that you've been arrogant and you've been nasty with people, change your ways of being, because changing your life and being a good person is a better feeling than be arrogant and be nasty with people out there. You know, Shelly, that's why when I go to Lola's, I'm there sometimes on Friday. I'll be there tonight, Friday for a little while. But Saturdays, we do the show every week. Every week we do a show. Every Friday we're out there to show the people who Shelly and I really are. Behind the scenes, we really are caring, loving individuals.
Yeah.
And people say, you know, it's not every day you find people like that.
That's so true.
But I was brought up the right way. I remember a Mexican individual, Gaspar Idio Ortega, was a fighter back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And he taught me a lot. He taught me how to be caring, loving. And of course, my mother was also. My mother raised 4 boys by herself, and she kept us on the right track. And she taught us how to be kind and loving individuals. And you individuals out there, you may not be on the right track today, but you can be. You can be. Think about the days you were growing up with your parents, whether father, mother, or just a single parent. They brought you up in a certain way to teach you love, caring, and understanding. And we have to be that way with people out there. There's nothing better, Shelly, than be with people out there that need some help, need some guidance. And that's what you and I do. We're always out there to try to get them to share that love and understanding, caring ways.
Exactly. And then I also learned this today, you know, just reading over things. I like to read a lot, so sometimes these things comes up and you just want to share it with people. When someone angers you, frustrates you, or hurts you to your core, take a deep breath.
Absolutely.
Let the initial feeling pass. By doing so, you will see a way of putting a positive spin on something negative. The right words can make someone's day, but the wrong words can ruin a life. So choose to spread positivity.
You're 100% right with that, you know. Choose your words carefully, because sometimes people say things, they don't intend to really say it the bad way, but it comes out the bad way. It's always be kind to yourself. By being kind to yourself, it's like sharing it. You share it with people out there and say, you know, we have to try to be caring, loving, understanding. But always pay it forward. That's all important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when we go to Lolo's, we touch so many souls and so many hearts, and people always want to stay in contact with us, so they'll take our cards and they'll text me, you know, what they want to hear, what songs they like, you know, and what artists they like. And I always tell them, I said, you know, I love meeting you guys tonight, but we meet so many people here because we're here 5 nights a week. I said, I want you to send me a text, but also send me your picture, so I'll never forget you when you walk in the door. I'll see your face and I'll remember you, because if I just get a name and a number, you know, I'm going to forget. I'm old, you know. I'm not going to remember. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, let alone what people's names are and faces. So I always tell them, and they do it too. They send me their pictures, and we keep in touch. I learn all about their families and everything, and it's just a general feeling of love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we met somebody a couple of weeks ago. It was Mike Tyson's assistant.
Yeah.
His name is Fred Farid Bonds. And his beautiful wife, Deborah. I'll call her Debbie.
Yeah.
Anyway, they are very kind individuals, you know, that we like to be around. They came to Lola's a couple of times already.
Yeah.
They showed her, they love, said, Joe, we love this place here because, you know, we love the way it's like a family coming here. You're like greeting people, and they see everybody comes over, and they'll be there again tomorrow night, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Fred and his wife Deborah will be there with some friends.
Yeah,
They bring it in.
and she sings as well. She came up on stage and sang a couple nights with us too.
What was the song she sang?
At Last.
At Last.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs. She sang it pretty good. What a good voice.
She did. Yes, she did.
And David, not too far behind. David had a little voice himself. I think if Mike Tyson was there, he'd say, "Come on, David, get off the stage." but they are kind people, and we love to be around nice people.
Yeah.
Alola's one thing for sure. We get people there come every. You guys perform 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
I can't believe that many people I know in this town can perform 5 nights a week at one location.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And
it's
then
great.
you also do the second Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, German American Club. Yeah.
Right. You do that once a month.
Yes, we do it. It's called Motown and More. And it is so cute to see everybody, especially like the people that come with the German heritage and everything. They know Motown
They
like
know.
the back of their hand. They will jump out.
I've been to Germany many times, and I go to Germany. One thing I learned that they love the Motown music there, but they also like the salsa music too.
Yes, exactly.
I said, wow, you know, you go to Germany. I've been to Japan as well. They got a group in Japan that sings, play salsa, the whole band. They're all Japanese.
Yeah.
And they all play salsa music.
Yeah.
I said, well, so when you travel around the world, which one thing I love doing, traveling around the world, not just here in the States or just a couple of states. I had the honor to travel, not when I was in the military, but when I was in boxing as a referee. I would travel all different parts of the world. I can tell you guys out there watching, I had the most educational program of my life. That's when I said, you went to college? I didn't go to college. I went to World University.
There you go.
World University, because I learned everything around the world. How people were in China, Korea,
exactly.
Taipei, Singapore, you name it, Jakarta, you know.
I love it. I've been to a lot of those places you've been to. It's a wonder we didn't cross paths, you know.
France, Italy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when I was flying with Pan Am for a while, you know, and I got to see the world that way by being a flight attendant. But then after I met Wesley, my husband, and we started performing together, and we were living in Philadelphia. We got an offer to go to Florida, so we started out there. We got an agent. The agent calls and she says, I want you to go to Japan.
Wow.
You have a gig waiting for you in Japan. It was only supposed to be a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. We ended up staying for 10 years, on and off between coming home to visit the family. But they're so into the music, and the people are so great and so nice. Then we did cruise ships for 23 years, traveled around the world with that as well. So, yeah, it was a reason why God put us together.
Exactly.
We've done so much of the same things.
Exactly. Well, you know, one of the things that I say is that there's a lot of individuals today here in the United States that are having a tough time, whether with immigration or different things that are going on around the world. You know, my heart goes out to all of you guys. We want things to be better for you. You know, we want to see happiness. We want to see. We say united. When you say United States of America, united, to me, united means one word. What understanding? United means we're united.
Yeah, exactly.
This country is not united. Sorry to say. We got to be united. We got to love one another. I don't care. That's why I'm not into politics. I love people. I want people to be united. Everybody try to be one human party, human being party.
That's right.
We want to be together and show the people around the world that we do care for you, one another.
Yeah.
Because Shelly, I'm going to run for president one day.
You should.
Because I want to be united with everybody.
Well, nominate me for your vice president.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know if your husband will allow you to do that.
Well, give him Secretary of State or something, or music ambassador, whatever. We work it out.
We are going to make a difference. We want to make a difference in this world.
Yeah.
We want to make a difference. That's why we put this show. People call me for it. I was on the show last night with an individual named Thomas and his wife named Johnny. Johnny and Thomas. They're South African and named Osti Quinn, something like that, from South Africa. And he's a former 9-time world champion with different organizations like the IBO, IBC, different smaller sanctioning bodies.
Wow.
But he's a champion, and he said, Joe, try to get Mike Tyson to bring his amateur program, Mike Tyson Invitational program to South Africa.
Wow.
You know, we've been talking about it. I've been talking to his wife about it the last couple of weeks, and she said, we'd love to bring Mike Tyson's amateur program to South Africa.
That would be
Tell
great.
him so we can make it happen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be talking to David, my friend David, his assistant, to help him out with that, to get the amateur boxing in South Africa. It'd be nice. You know, they say, Joe, we can do this 4, 5, 6 times a year. In South Africa, I would love to. I want to get you. I told her I want to get your husband Thomas. He's a former welterweight. He's still kind of active, semi-active. Get him to do an exhibition with Mike Tyson or with Floyd Mayweather. Try to do something with him to do exhibitions. Everybody's doing exhibitions around the world. Well, let your husband Thomas be one of the fighters.
You know,
Let's put Mayweather and your husband Thomas to fight in South Africa. But she said, well, you know, I'd rather do it with Mike Tyson. But we can do it both. We do Mike Tyson first and we Mayweather second.
Oh, my God.
And they can make it happen. I said, but let's get the amateur program going. So the thing about what Shelly and I was trying to do, we always try to bring the people together, see, all parts of the world. You introduce a couple of your friends from Japan, and some people that come from different parts of the world.
Oh, yeah.
And you say, Joe, these are my friends. They heard that we're performing here in Las Vegas, and they came out to visit us. Can you tell me about some of your friends?
Yeah, and they know exactly who you are. You know, by Wesley, you know, loving boxing so much, he would talk to the passengers about boxing matches and you and everything before we even met you. So they know exactly who you are. And so we were also based in Singapore when we were performing on cruise ships for a long time, and we had so many different kinds of people there, people from all over the world. And we used to always end our shows there with a song by Celine Dion and Andrea Bocelli. It's called The Prayer, and it was about bringing people together and how it should only be one race. I called it, I said, everybody, we need one race, and that's the human race.
The human race,
that's
right.
it. And everybody, they would give me a standing ovation. I'm like, I'm not really saying anything, you know, but they know what I was talking about.
I love that. I love that human race.
The human race,
It's
one race,
You
yeah.
know, God created us, you know, to be Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
He didn't say different races. He said Adam and
That's
Eve.
right, exactly.
And we don't know what color they were. We don't care.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
human race.
Exactly. How about that? We don't know what color they were. Exactly. Yeah, that makes a lot of
the
sense.
Human race is a good thing. Maybe I'll create a show called The Human Race with Shelly and Joe.
I know, right? You know what, too? We should get a show, too, where we go different places around the world that we all have been or want to go to. And then me and Wesley will come along, and we'll be like the musical ambassadors. We'll bring a couple of keyboards. We'll give a concert while you're having something going on with the boxing.
Yeah, well, I have a friend named Nancy. She works with the Hilton Hotels. And she said, Joe, we want to do something. If we can do something with the Hilton Hotels. I said, well, we're going to do something around the world with the Hilton Hotels. And I got a couple, Shelly and Wesley, perform. Where we travel, we can bring them along.
Yeah.
Or not, maybe not to every event that we go to, but doing the Hilton event will be great, because there's something to do with the timeshare they do with the Hilton. And she's involved with that. And she's one of the top sellers that they have with the Hilton Hotels. I said, well, the Hilton Hotels, I've stayed in many of them. You got a bunch of them in Hawaii,
Yeah.
which I stayed at before. They're all over the world. Hilton Hotels,
Yeah.
doing a show, doing a speech about whether it's boxing, whether it's entertainment, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, we can do. So Nancy said, Joe, I like that idea. She's going to be talking to some people at the Hilton Hotel about doing
great.
something like that. And we can travel around and see everything around the world, because there's a lot of things that a lot of people in the world got to learn. And that is caring for one another, knowing one another about how different races, different cultures around the world. You know, I know when I went to Singapore, you said you were there many times. I used to go there once in a while when I went to Jakarta.
Yeah.
And I went to Jakarta to referee a fight there. And we had spent a day in Singapore Singapore, one of the cleanest city in the world.
Oh, yes.
You throw a piece of bubble gum.
Oh, yeah.
Or you spit out the cabinet, they'll give you a ticket, a citation.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You may end up in jail, I don't know. But they're very serious about doing drugs in that country.
Oh, yeah.
They put you, you go to jail, for they catch you smoking weed or whatever.
That's it.
Which here is legal in the United States. In a lot of states. Singapore,
Nope.
they catch you with drugs, you go to jail
Yep.
for life.
You throw a cup on the ground, you'll go to jail. They're very clean. They don't play.
But I tell you, but we learn about different things around the world. I remember when I went to China, I had the honor of, they gave me a tour to the Great Wall of China. Mm-hmm. It was so nice walking, learning about you. You read about it in school and whatnot,
Yeah.
but when you go there in person, you actually walk the steps.
Yeah.
Every step was not the same.
Right.
Like here we measure the steps. Over there, back in those days, thousands of years ago,
Yeah.
those steps are one is higher, one is lower. So you got to look as you're walking. You
Yeah.
got to look where you're walking. But there was a young girl, a Chinese girl, and she was a college girl, but she was an interpreter. Larry Hazard, commissioner for New Jersey. He was a referee one time and an ex-amateur boxer. And him and I were there, and a couple of individuals. I was, we were giving a seminar there. And then I said, Larry, this is amazing. Here we are. You come from New Jersey, and I come from Spanish Harlem, New York. And here we are in China, the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
And the young girl, she said, Joe, no, she called me to Mr. Cortez. We were saying goodbye to her, give her a hug, and she started crying. I said, "Why are you crying?" She said, "Oh, because I wish I had a father like you."
Yeah.
Because I was telling her about my three daughters, Cindy, Sandy, Christine, how much we love our children. And she said, "You treat your children, you talk about your daughters so nice. They're so kind, loving." I said, "Yes, they are loving, and we are to share our love and carry with our children." And she said, "I wish I had a father like you that can share that with me." And I gave her a big hug. I choked up when she said that,
Of course,
because it was a nice young lady. But I got to show that you can't learn this in school. You got to go travel around the world like
That's right.
you and I have.
Exactly.
Traveled, your husband. We have seen people the way different cultures. It's just wonderful.
It is. I'm telling you, I want to make sure everybody knows too that they need to like, share, and subscribe. They can also leave us messages on the page as well.
Yeah. Let us know where you're watching the show from. Because I know I got people from Africa, I got people from Venezuela, Mexico, Argentina. I got people sending me texts. How did they get to know from where they say, we've been watching you on YouTube channel. You're here every week. Yeah, we do a show every Friday.
Yeah.
Same time, 2 p.m. Around 2 p.m. around there.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's great to do this show because we love you guys out there. We care for you individuals. I want referees out there. People say, Joe, how did you become a referee? They do like I did. I was an ex-fighter. Sometimes a lot of referees were never fighters, but they go to a local gym and they'll start training at a local gym and they'll learn the ring mechanics of a referee. That's how you start doing the amateurs. Before you know it, you do a couple of years in the amateurs and you're ready to go pro.
Yeah.
Like I did. I did it 6 months. But some referees do it 3 to 5 years in the amateurs before you consider going pro.
Yeah.
But when I did it in the amateurs, I was called in by Deputy Commissioner Frank Morris. He said, Joe, I saw you last week. Can you come up to my office? I want to talk with you. Went up to the office, Joe, I want to make you, I'm going to turn you pro. I'm going to do it in 6 months. I said, Joe, don't waste your time in the amateur. You got enough ring mechanics where you were moving in the ring. I said, well, help me as a fighter. He said, but a lot of guys are not fighters, but you have been a fighter and you learn how about ring mechanics, you know about boxing. We want to turn you pro. So I turned pro in 1969. Boxing got me turned pro in 1977 I turned pro. They got me turned pro in 1979. And they made a big mistake by having me turned pro 79. It was 79, 2 years before that. So I had, boxing got me for 190 some odd professional fights. And but how about those 2 first years? I had over 60, 70 shows that I did.
Yeah.
New York had 3 or 4 shows a month. And sometimes there was in Atlantic City, there was 2 or 3 shows a week. So many shows that I did are not recorded. But I'm proud to say that I got into it. I helped me get me kept me on the right track, kept me out of trouble, out of gangs, out of drugs. Boxing kept me going on the right track. Helped me to be the person that I am today. And having Shelly as my co-host is very special. And her husband Wesley, he's like a brother. We treat each other like family. You know, they come over to my house. They play with my grandchildren. We see time. We spend good times together. And Wesley, every time he sees me, as big as he is, give me that hug. I feel like I'm being hugged by a big teddy bear. Man, the guy is so big and so strong when he holds me.
It's funny you said that. That's my nickname for him, Bear.
No, man, yeah. Anyway, guys, I will tell you that it's been an honor to be on the show again today. Again, our show is about loving, caring. Today's show, we talk about everything in life. The thing is that you guys know that Shelly and I love you all out there. We will never try to disrupt your lifestyle. They will try to put you down. That's not the way we get ahead of life. We get ahead of life by being kind and loving to people out there. But please remember, share, like, and subscribe to this show. Because this show is going to go a long way. I've been doing this for the last 10 years with my director here, Rick Manning, with the Regal Studios. And he's amazing.
Yes,
please keep watching the show. Last 10 years I've been doing this non-stop. The only time I stopped was when I had COVID in the hospital. Other than that, I came right back. And Rick Manning be my man. Keep your guys up all the time. My undisputed champion here, Shelly Stevens. See you next week. Take care.